Hi guys, welcome to a new video. So today we'll take a look at the last build order for rush strategy, and that will be the Fallen faction. And once again we are on the Dark Side Forest map, playing against hard AI, so let's just start it. It will be similar to the balance strategy of course as all the rush strategies, but we'll of course go for third hive and some extra hive stingers. In the Excel file I even have that you can add hive spitters, but it's the same as with priests for empire. We are not gonna do that. Basically, if you don't rush them with hive stingers, you probably lost because you failed to rush them. So let's just immediately make a harvester. Of course, going for a quick deformer doesn't really even matter. You don't need to close your base necessarily with these rush strategies, but it's sometimes good, especially if you are not doing them in a 1v1 situation. Then you definitely want to close it because the other enemy that you are not attacking might actually attack you. So be careful with that. We're gonna make of course another harvester. Once we finish this, we're gonna make a hive. Then of course control form again and just produce more harvesters. So this one is finished. Waiting for the deformer to finish. Make an instant hive, control form. Grouping up my hive, sending a rally point to find the enemy, and then of course making another harvester, so we have 6 of them on gold. Once again we are not gonna mine any gems, you don't need them, so just 1 or 2 harvesters on wood. Actually 1 is definitely enough with this strategy. It's usually enough even with the balance strategy, so it will definitely be enough here. So 5 of them are produced. Now waiting for the 6th harvester, but we can already remove the control form to build the second hive once we get 150 gold. Making it, control form, adding it to my group. So now we have actually 2 hives, and now just keep producing more harvesters. Of course you want to make 1 more control form, so produce another summoner. And after that you just make 1 or 2 harvesters for wood. As I said, you just make 1 probably. And that's basically everything. Then we just spam as many hive stingers as we can. You can potentially also make incubator. Sorry, now I actually removed my hive stinger. Build an incubator even now or later to upgrade your hive stingers. But you could also do that with weapon armory and or weaponry, as it's called, for beast, and blacksmith for empire to upgrade swordsmen and warriors, but we didn't really do that. Usually we just want to spend the resources on more units, and that should be enough. So let's keep it like this, really simple. I think with Fallen you actually want to build the third hive really soon, not as we did with the other factions, where we built the third production building a little bit later in the enemy town, because then you would actually need to build a deformer first and then just somehow get there. It's not convenient, so I think it's much better to just go straight for the third hive. I could have even built it here with this control form, but at least we saved up some resources. Make sure you have actually enough of the wood for new summoners. Yeah, the enemy is here. He's actually also fallen. This is gonna be interesting. We can definitely pull this off, but I need to be a little bit more careful. He's also going for 3 hives and hive stingers, so this is gonna be quite interesting, but he's probably gonna eventually try to swap to something different, which is actually, now I had a gap between my units, so that might actually make it a little bit harder for me, but overall we should be able to outpush him because we will make only hive stingers and he will eventually try to swap to something, and that is the exact time where I need to push. Or if he spends resources on an expansion, just anything. Yeah, really he doesn't have a chance here. I have much more hive stingers. But I'm still leaving gaps between my hive stingers in production buildings, which is not ideal. You can even build a 4th hive with this strategy. You kinda need to find the best amount of hives there, but you don't want to slow down your production, of course. So just keep producing, and of course doing some multitasking with making some new units. We're also making summoners. Maybe we can do some micromanagement with our hive stingers, but It's actually good when you are pushing a Fallen, because they also have Unholy Ground and you are healing on the enemy Unholy Ground as well, so this is always nice for some extra healing. But the problem is that he has his production buildings here, so it's much harder for me to actually rebuild my army when I lose something, because they need to go from really far away. Right now I don't actually think I can afford a 4th hive, so probably not gonna do that. I'm gonna try to fight in a smaller space where he cannot use all of his hive stingers when he has more of them, just to even out the numbers while more hive stingers will come. This is of course not a thing that you will encounter too often, because the enemy will usually not go full hive stingers like this. And also you probably won't play against Fallen always, so against other races it will also look a little bit different. With beasts you will just instantly kill all Borons because of extra damage against them. We need to destroy this tower, otherwise we are actually kinda screwed. So I'm even gonna sacrifice some units. Here is going for an incubator, probably gonna try to make some hive spitters, which is gonna definitely help him. I don't need more population, so let's leave that summoner there. So we can maybe build a hive if I need to do that later. Yeah, right now he's actually kinda winning the fight, because as I said, he has much faster supply of new units. However, he spent 150 gold on incubators, so he should have 3 less hive stingers. Of course, he's also using his peasants here, or harvesters. So that's also giving him a small advantage. I can also need to make sure that he doesn't make a tower anywhere. That will be a problem, but as you can see, he's not producing anything now, he's not even mining anymore. So I'm kinda just forcing him away from that. Still bringing more units, and I mean, once he spends resources on something else, like incubator or any other building, you should be able to win at that point, because that's the deciding factor. You just spend resources on something else than units, and you just spend it on more units and you should be fine at that point. Of course, now when he brought all of his harvesters, he's dealing much more damage than me. Harvester actually deals only 1 less damage than Hive Stinger, so this is a huge loss of, huge gain of damage for him. So this might be a problem. Let's actually build the 4th hive now. I think this is the perfect time to do that. He's trying to build a tower again, which costs him some resources, so let's destroy it. Be careful while attacking summoners, because you take damage from that. So definitely want to make sure that you are not doing it too much unnecessarily. Your units will always prioritize attacking other units if you attack move, but if there are no other units in the range, you will still attack summoners even with attack move, so be careful with that. And now I already killed all of his Hive Stingers, he is not producing any more, he probably doesn't have more resources, and he's trying to save up for Hive Spitters. Now maybe researching Grasp for his Harvesters, but he's gonna lose them before that. And he doesn't have any more resources, so now we just finish him. So it took a little bit longer with the Fallen faction here, but we are pushing against Fallen with the other 2 races. In the demonstration build order videos we are playing against Beasts, which are maybe the easiest to rush, at least against AI. So that definitely changed it a little bit. But overall yeah, this took a little bit longer, but we still managed to defeat them quite easily. Gonna make sure that I destroy all the summoners so he doesn't go somewhere, make an expansion. I can even send one Hive Stinger there to be really sure, but I mean, he doesn't have any resources, so there is no way he has resources for an expansion. Unless he built it before somewhere else, which is impossible. Yeah, we are here since the beginning, so this should be totally fine. I don't think he's even producing anything here. Yeah, maybe some more harvesters, but overall in the town I don't see anything anywhere. And we just keep pumping more Hive Stingers and it should be really fine. They are quite fast, so that's really good. But the problem is of course that with Fallen you need to build everything at home, unless you want to actually come here with a summoner, which is much slower than other peasants of course, or other villagers, peasants and minions. And you also need to build a Deformer. So Deformer, Hive, also come here with the Summoner. Yeah, it's a ton of work. So usually it's just better to build 3 or 4 Hives at home and just keep pumping more Hive Stingers from there. So I think that's more effective, but you just need to try it yourself, see what works for you. Also depends on the map, of course. Yeah, but in the build orders for economy strategies, I was saying that you usually want to have a big map for that. For rush strategies, you of course want to have small maps for that. So that's like the opposite. So always make sure that you have the right map for your strategy as well. Yeah, so we're just gonna finish this last Hive, and we should hopefully win. Yeah, RTI was defeated, so let's just check the results. Not that good kill ratio, but of course with Hive Stingers it's kinda expected. And the resources, of course, we are slowing him down a little bit once again. I didn't even spend any of his gems, so total waste of time for him to do this. So yeah, this was the Fallen build order for rush strategy, and this basically wraps it up. The last strategies that we will cover will be the defensive strategies, so 3 more videos, and after that we'll finally get to some real demonstration in real PvP games against some pro players, so that's gonna be interesting. So yeah, thanks for watching and take care, guys.